Hey gang, welcome to another episode of Webinar Wednesday with Brilliant Directories. I see that a bunch of people just signed in here. I want to say hi to Dave, Clayton, nice to see you here. Blair and Kathy, always great to see you joining in on the webinars. Always nice to see you and have you with us. Debbie, nice to have you here in the webinars. And Dennis, welcome to Webinar Wednesday. While we're waiting, I just want to quickly check if the last two webinars are online. We were in the process of editing those. I think they're going to be up by this Friday. Let me just check real quick. So the last one's from June 13th. So we have two more, including this one, so there would be three total. But those two previous ones should be online by this Friday. If you ever want to access the webinars, you can always come to the Brilliant Directories website and click on blog. And as they're being published, we do list them here. A good way to kind of search for them is there's this nifty search bar down here. You can just search for Webinar Wednesday, and any blog post that has Webinar Wednesday in it, and it'll show them in chronological order, starting with the most recent one that's been uploaded there. What's also nice, just while everyone is still checking in, because they are blog posts, you can actually search by keyword. In the Facebook group that we have, someone was asking about, did we talk about something related to landing pages? So if you type in landing page or some variation, if you're not finding what you want, you can actually find the webinars that have those keywords in them. And the way that it's finding that, let me show you. If you click on one of these webinars, you have the video, obviously, and then we have kind of like a table of contents here with what was the major topics that were covered in the webinars. So I'm just going to do a quick search in Firefox for landing page, and we can see here at it was a long webinar, 1 hour and 37 minutes. We talked about how to drive traffic to landing pages. So that's a quick way to kind of find content that's been discussed in the webinars. You might not find exactly what you're looking for on the first try, but you can always go back and to the search results and search another webinar that we may have talked about a specific topic. So in this one, I just searched for landing page again. At 12 minutes and 48 seconds, we talk about how to create compelling offers and a sample offer landing page. So just a good example here of how to find some of the content that's been presented in past webinars, because we definitely do cover a lot of topics, and it's helpful to be able to find that information. All right, let's dive right into it. If this is your first time joining us for Webinar Wednesday, welcome. It's great to be with you. If you've joined us in the past, thanks for coming back and joining us again. I am Jason there on the left, and we are lucky to be joined by Gabriel and Patrick. Gabriel is one of the support specialists here at Brilliant Directories. He sees hundreds, if not thousands, of support tickets every week, and he has great knowledge on simple solutions to very common questions with Brilliant Directory. So it's great to have Gabe with us. And of course, Patrick is with the Customization Experts, the leading and in my opinion, the best company creating plugins and tools to accompany your Brilliant Directories website. Thanks, Gabe and Patrick, for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Jay. Happy to be here.
All right, and I always like to mention, I'm pretty sure everyone here in the webinar is already part of our Facebook group, but if you're not, I encourage you to join our Facebook group. It's a great place to continue the conversation throughout the weeks between Webinar Wednesdays. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. You can join the group. You can start discussions, to ask questions, to share your thoughts, and really the focus is on how to grow your community, how to better market your website so that you can grow your brand. So you can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. There's a lot of participation in there by myself and obviously the entire BD tribe. So I hope to see you guys there. And I do see a lot of new faces here in the list here of attendees. And I want to just let you know the best way to get value from Webinar Wednesdays. We really want to help provide you with new marketing skills to grow your membership or directory website. Some topics that we can cover, obviously there's a wide range of topics, but some common topics are how to convert website visitors into free or paying members, how to attract more traffic to your website. We can even talk about search engine optimization, how to help your site rank better in Google. And one of my favorites, and I think one of the most valuable, is how to improve your website's navigation, how people come to your homepage and find their way to other internal pages of your website and that entire experience. So have your questions ready. We're going to get to them after a few short presentations here with Webinar Wednesday. And I hope we have time for everyone's questions. But if we don't, let me just backtrack. Join the Brilliant Directories Facebook group. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. If we don't get to your questions here on the webinar, we can definitely answer them for you in the Facebook group. All right, we're going to start this webinar Wednesday with the tip of the week that we have. And today we want to talk about how you can, I think, easily increase your sign-up conversion rates by adding simple confidence boosters to your checkout pages and honestly throughout your website. And Patrick, Gabe, and I were talking about this topic. We do have some examples for you. But in case you don't know what confidence boosters, I'm going to pass it over to Pat. Can you kind of explain to us what confidence boosters are and how they can be used?
Sure thing, Jason. So a confidence booster is something that you want to put on your website. It shouldn't be flashy. It shouldn't be distracting. It should almost be entering somebody's subconscious in the sense that, and while they're purchasing something on your website or they're signing up, you may not really notice them when you're browsing the internet and you're looking at different websites to sign up or purchase products. But I can assure you they're everywhere, just so they can ease you to know that you're in good hands.
Yeah, and I like the key phrase here, subtle elements, because you don't want things that are in people's faces that it kind of makes it cheapens it and makes it a little tacky. It loses its value or luster, and we're going to show you some examples of that. So there are tons of benefits of confidence boosters, but I think the one that is the most important is the fact that with a confidence booster, you can increase your sign up and conversion rates. Patrick came up with this one to eliminate doubts and fears. And can you elaborate on what you mean by that exactly, how a confidence booster can actually eliminate fears?
Absolutely, and especially in today's day and age, there's just a lot of doubt online about creating accounts. So taking time to reassure somebody before they're about to make a purchase or before they're about to sign up and just explain, perhaps it could be, for example, it could be that you're on an SSL or it's secure payment, or maybe you could tell them what you're going to do with their data, all those different types of elements on the sign up page. It's not that they notice when it's there, it's more that they realize something's kind of missing when they're not. It's not something that you're going to put on and again, people are going to say, wow, that's great, that makes me want to sign up, but it may be what causes somebody not to sign up.
Yeah, and I think when we go into the examples, it's going to be clear to see how not having confidence boosters kind of leaves people in a weird abyss, no man's land, sort of, to fend for themselves on if they're slightly on the fence, if they should move forward with the sign up or if they should abandon the checkout process. And that actually takes us to number 4, which is reducing abandoned checkouts. Abandoned checkouts is very common with e-commerce websites. You put everything in your cart, you get to the checkout page, and you say that you don't want to buy it anymore. You don't want to finish the sign-up process, so you leave the website. And confidence boosters are definitely tools that can help reduce that abandoned checkout rate that you might have on your site.
That's correct. And I think one of the main reasons this is so valuable to a lot of people listening in today's webinar is, if you go to twitter.com or if you go to Facebook, they don't really have confident boosters. You can sign up right on their homepage, but it's a renowned brand. Facebook might not be a good example of a good reputation these days, but people do feel confidence with those brands. They recognize those brands, so they don't need to have as many confidence boosters during that process. But a lot of us here today, you're starting out a new venture, or your brand isn't known nationwide or statewide or citywide. So it may be necessary just to give your potential buyers or members a little bit more information so that they don't abandon that checkout and they proceed with the full process.
That's right. And again, we're going to have to see some examples to really understand this, but you actually brought up a good point, is that confidence boosters can help tell people more about your company, what they're signing up for, and also what your company stands for. So through the confidence boosters, and we're going to show you some examples like having a secured checkout page, it shows that you care about your customers' security and protection. And that goes a long way, because that's just one way of letting them know that you're on top of your game and that you care about the customer and their experience. And the thing lastly with these confidence boosters, it just makes the checkout pages look more professional, because again, we're going to show you some examples, but with a more professional look, you can sign up more people, you can show reputable brands, you can show smiley faces and things like that with the confidence boosters. So here are just a few types of confidence boosters. There's obviously many more, but Patrick was insisting that we put SSL security at the top of this list. Can you explain what SSL security is? I can show an example of this while you're explaining that, and why that is so important, especially in 2018 now.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, it's to ensure that information gets passed along in an encrypted fashion. And these days on the internet, it really, like it says on the slide, it is an absolute must to be providing an SSL certificate. If you don't have an SSL certificate, depending on the browser that you're on, they might even get a big warning that says this website is not secure. And I can assure you, if you read that something is not secure before you're going to pass your credit card information over it, or sign up, then that would be perhaps an issue. I know Brilliant Directories, right, Jason? You guys have taken measures to ensure it doesn't happen on the actual sign up page, but on all the other pages of the website, they would be seeing that.
Correct. So here's the example. We're gonna, just spoiler alert. Here's the example site that we're gonna use to show you the confidence boosters. So this is the regular front end of the site. You can see that there's a lock with a slash through it. This is on Firefox, and it says connection is not secure. Brilliant Directories does provide you with a secure checkout page if you don't have your own SSL certificate for your site. So let's click on this featured listing here. So it still has it's still branded with your logo, but it's taking you to a website called Secure My Payment. It's branded with your logo. It's still your sign up page and everything, but we do need to provide your members with a secure checkout. So let me just, if you don't have an SSL certificate, I'll just show you real quick where to get one. You can go to our add-ons page, and it's actually, again, it made the top of the list that Patrick is talking about now. It's also ahead of all the other add-ons that we offer is an SSL certificate. So if you don't have one and your site's starting to gain more traffic and you want to provide your members or potential members with a good sign-up experience, you'll definitely want an SSL certificate on your site.
Mm-hmm.
Number two was displaying reputable brands. So along with a secure checkout, you can also mention that you accept Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and PayPal. And while all that is nice to mention, showing those brands on your page adds a little bit more professionalism and makes your site a little bit more reputable, that it's associated with those logos and those brands. And let's kind of go a little bit ahead. I think we really need to see some examples here for kind of this to sink in. So here is a checkout page where we've added, and we're going to show you guys how you can do this on your own website. But this module up here, it says verified and secure checkout. This is actually an image that we'll provide you guys on this webinar. But we've put these logos here: Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express. The page would look fine without them, but in my opinion, it looks better with it, and it tells the customer what they can do, that they're here to pay for something, and these are the forms of payment that are accepted. So it's not only information that you're sharing, but it's helping the checkout page look a little bit more reputable. You can also list the top benefits of joining. And I guess at this point, I'm just going to keep toggling a little bit back and forth between the two. And over here, we kind of just copied what we had on our Brilliant Directories checkout pages. But you can simply create a list of your top benefits of joining your site. And I wouldn't list add photos and add coupons as your top benefits. People are looking for exposure and visibility, or something that's going to benefit their business. I would focus on those types of benefits rather than just things they can do on your site. So you can really think about what the top benefits for a member to join your site are, and include them on a list here on the checkout page. So as they're putting in their information, you're eliminating fears and doubts. You're actually boosting their confidence to sign up, and that's why these are called confidence boosters.
Also, I find when people are getting, when they're signing up for a site, one of the things that they like to know the most is what's going to happen after they sign up. There's a little bit of anxiety in terms of what's next. And the more you can clarify that, for example, you could say receive a welcome call after sign up, set up your profile in under 5 minutes. Those types of confident boosters, and people know, okay, if I just complete this step, those are the next thing I'm going to be able to do, and that just increases confidence in the buyer's journey to proceed.
I love that, Pat. Yeah, not only your top list of things to do, but just literally tell them what happens next. I think when people give their credit cards, especially when signing up for a service, a membership community, whatever it is, they definitely want to know what the next steps are. So if you said what happens next, set up your profile, list your preferences, and get connected with more clients. Even if it's 3 or 4 things, that's fine, but it gives them a path to the finish line. And the first step in that, to reaching that path to the finish line, is getting past this checkout page. And of course, always a testimonial is a great way to boost confidence in a new potential member who's joining your site, is sharing the success or experience of an existing member that's already part of your community. And a testimonial is a more technical term in marketing, is social proof, which is showing how other people have had success with your product or service. In this case, we have a title, some short words, and obviously you can find a member of your site or community that would like to be featured, and you can show a photo of them or potentially their logo on the checkout page as well.
And what I find works best with testimonials, and sometimes they could be a little fluffy, I like to pinpoint a problem that I think a member could relate to. So if the testimonial could address a problem that the website solved in that testimonial, whatever your website is solving or profile could resolve on their end, I find those to be the best performing one. And I've actually seen a couple of people put a link here to that profile page, so they can say, check out my profile here, just in case they're just not quite sure they want to pay $199 yet. They click there, and of course it would be the best profile you'd want to show somebody in that step. But all of that just boosts confidence.
That's an awesome suggestion, is view my profile or something like that here. And then again, there's tons of confidence boosters, and you can mix and match how you want to use them on your site. One of the last ones we wanted to recommend, which is a feature with Brilliant Directories as an add-on, is to provide a promo code directly on the checkout page. So for new signups, you can just have a promo code that's available for them to use. And I think at the top of this page, we're using the banner here, and it says August signup event. save 25%, and there's a promo code here. It's 25 off. I don't know if we made that promo code work on this site. Let's just check. Yeah, it's not an active promo code, but you could put that in the sidebar. You could keep it in the banner here. You could put it closer towards the bottom. You can kind of design it so it's like right near the pricing area, so they see it nice. You can make an image, but putting a promo code there, so if anyone had any qualms about the price, they can feel that they're getting a special today, and everyone likes, a little extra discount just to, ease the sign up process just a bit. So these are just 5 ideas. What I'd like to do is, and we weren't planning on this, is if anyone, I'm going to lower anyone's hands. If anyone else is using confidence boosters on their checkout pages, I'd love to hear what you're doing. We can unmute your microphone. We've got a couple people here. Hey, Vincent, I've unmuted your microphone.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. So are you using confidence boosters on your site or checkout pages?
Well, I thought some of these were really great. I used the SL security thing. I think that's absolutely a must right now. Google seems to be pushing the...
it's cracking the whip on that, yeah.
Absolutely. I thought this was a great idea about the Visa, MasterCard, PayPal thing. I learned a lot just from watching this, but I realized that it's, the more you can make it look legit, the better. But it does seem, though, like when people want your product, they seem to call, if they're, they'll call and ask questions sometimes before to make sure they feel comfortable. That's something I don't see you doing too much there. I don't see any like phone number. Like it seems like sometimes people, they're like what I have found is that people want to call, email, text, chat, or messenger. And that's something that we have been looking into, how to add text and chat and messenger to the website. Do you have anything like that that's coming up? Or
Yeah. So a couple things. So first of all, great suggestion on the phone number. One of the top ones here could be, say, like, need help, have questions before setting up your account. Call us now, and you can have an 800 number or a local number. What's really cool about 800 numbers or local numbers, when you have them for your website, some people think there always needs to be someone there to answer the phone. You could just set up a really nice voicemail, and just have people leave a message, say, you've caught our outside our office hours, leave a message and we'll get back to you soon. So you can just have the calls go to the voicemail or forward to your phone at different times of the day. So that's one reason people might be afraid to get phone numbers, is they don't want to get bombarded with phone calls. But if you're just happy with checking the messages and calling people back at your leisure, that's a good way to get the phone calls. Regarding the chat or the SMS, what I would recommend that's built in with Brilliant Directories is we do have the Facebook website chat tool. And with this, you can have exactly how it shows. You can have a chat box right on all your web pages. So potentially, if someone does have questions about signing up, they could chat with you. And what I like about the Facebook website chat is if you download the Messenger app on your phone, you can basically go back and forth with a website visitor, just like you're sending your friend a text message. Say, yeah, how can I help you? Okay, you're looking for this. And you can kind of give them great customer service right from your phone when you're on the go. So that's one way to kind of get the back and forth chat with someone who's going through the checkout process, Vince.
I didn't even know you had that. That's pretty neat. But the other thing about the phone number, to me, it seems like not only does Google want to see SSL, they also want to see a real address, a real phone number. Even if I use tracking numbers, but I got caught the other day by accidentally using a phone number that Google associated with another business on another website by accident, and I had to do a lot of talking to Google to explain, yes, don't kick me off of the maps because that was a mistake, you know. But every site now has its own tracking number, and you can send that tracking number to wherever you want. But
got you. Yeah, we could.
have you seen that? Have you seen that before?
I haven't seen that before about a website having a tracking number, but I definitely like the idea of having some contact details on a checkout page. So some people who might need a little bit of hand-holding have an option to reach out to your organization to complete the sign-up process. That's a great suggestion. So mixing and matching the different types of confidence boosters to suit your website's needs is something you can definitely do. And we already did look at some examples here. So here we have kind of like a top 10, or not a top 10 list, but a list of your top features, some type of, that the page is verified and secured, some credit card icons, a testimonial, and then we saw the promo code option, and also Vince had a great idea on providing a way for people to contact you if they might be on the fence or have questions before the sign up process. The goal here is to ease and eliminate fears and doubts and get them to the finish line of the sign up process. So what we wanted to do is show you how you can add confidence boosters to your site. And Pat, I know we didn't plan this. Do you mind if I kind of pass over the presenter role to you, and you can kind of show us how you created the sidebar there with the confidence boosters on the interior design demo site that we have?
Sure thing, Gabe. Would you mind opening up putting a link in the chat for the page that you created here?
You know what? I can do that. So we have good news for everyone. Gabe was nice enough to put together this article. It's pretty simple on how to add this type of confidence booster to your site with the code that you can copy and paste. You probably just need to change some of the text here to suit your website's goals. Let me pop this in the chat for you, Pat.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much.
Okay, you should. The entire audience should have received that now.
All right.
All right, so I'm going to pass over the controls to you.
Okay, thank you very much. So here's the article that we just shared, and I'm not gonna read through the article since everybody here has it, but I will go over the steps that I followed to set this up. The most important things to know are: one, this is the code that you need to copy in order to create a widget. So what I did was I copied all of this code, and then inside of the admin itself, and this is the Brilliant Directories admin here, we can go into the widget manager. And you'll see that I created a widget and I just called it confidence. So here we can go and open up the code, and you'll see that this is the code that I posted in there. So if I want to change the words, I can change them right here. It's quite easy to make edits. So you can, instead of it saying a platform you can trust, you can have it say what happens next, like Jason had just mentioned, and then list what happens next for you. And then you'll notice that on this code, there's two things that it's calling. It's calling an image here, and it's calling an image here. So what you'll have to do to complete the setup, if you want the images that are on the page that we're showing you on today's webinar, we've actually added them to the bottom here, so you can see we have the secure checkout image. So we can open it here, save the image as, and then download it.
Right, and then upload it to your image manager in the admin.
Precisely.
Right.
And once it's uploaded into your images folder, it's going to instantly display on the front end of the website.
Yeah, I always say it looks like a lot of complicated code, but if you just stick to the black text that's there and just change that to your needs, you shouldn't have too much trouble with these 3 different modules.
Correct. It's quite easy. And again, with this great article that Gabe put together from top to bottom, it really gives you all the different steps that you have to follow, which is great. There is one little detail that I think would be helpful to show, and that is when you're actually managing the different products, you may want to have a different confidence boost for different membership levels. So in this case, the example that Jason shared was for premium members. So if we click edit, you'll notice that one of the first settings we see is actually allowing us to decide what sign up page sidebar sidebar we want to display. So in this instance, what we did is we created a sidebar, and then we called that widget that we just created, and that's why this particular sign up page has those confidence boosters.
So Pat, can you show us how you created a sidebar, you put your newly made widget in that sidebar, which has all your fancy code in it, and then in the membership level, you're saying, hey, show this sidebar on the checkout page.
That's correct. That's exactly what I did. So all I did was I clicked on the button, create a new sidebar, and I could do it right now so everybody can see how easy it is. It just takes seconds. I can give it I could call it the featured sidebar.
For your featured membership level, right?
Exactly, for my featured membership levels.
I think it just takes a second to save. There you go.
And we have it here at the top, and then I click edit, and since it's the new sidebar, it means it's going to be blank on the right hand side. And then all I need to do is remember the name of the widget. I know in this case it was confidence, so I just start typing, and what I love, it's really quick to show you all the widgets that match that. I just drag this into this sidebar, I save the changes, and just like that, I have a new custom sidebar. So now what I can do is I can go into this, into the different products. I can find the featured level. I can click edit. And maybe what we can do actually before I add that there, we'll just take a quick look and see what that page looks like currently. This is how it looks. There are no confidence boosters. This is how most directory sign up pages look today, I would say, and probably won't be the case after today's webinar, hopefully. If we go back into this and change the membership level settings, what we're going to do is we're going to say that we want a sidebar. We want to have a sidebar on our sign up page, and we're going to say we would like it to be the featured sidebar, which we just created. And I can control if I want that to be on the left or on the right. I prefer for it to be on the right because, again, I don't want it to be front and center. And people read from left to right. And I'd like them to focus on the form, but you can give me a completely different perspective and say, isn't that the whole point of the confidence boosters, is to give them confidence before signing up? And you may be right. So you can do some A/B testing and find out which of the two works best for your particular niche. So now when we refresh this page, we have our beautiful confidence boosters on the right side, giving us a much more refined product.
That's great. That's super. And it's super easy, to be honest. You got to finagle a little bit of the codes for the modules that you want. It's probably as simple as the HTML would get. And again, if you're just working around the black text there, you shouldn't have too many issues. So yeah, we'd love to see in the next webinar, I'm going to grab the controls back to you. If you didn't have confidence boosters on your checkout pages and you're going to add them, we'd love to check them out in the next webinar. Just send us an email, events@brilliantdirectories.com. Say, hey, I added confidence boosters to my checkout page, and we will be happy to kind of review it in the next webinar. And we put the link or the title of the article that Gabe created. Probably if you just type confidence boosters in our support portal, you'll find that article pretty easily. And we also shared a link to that article in the chat here for GoToWebinar. Let's try to take just one or two more questions about confidence boosters before we move on to the next segment. Barry, do you have any questions about confidence boosters?
Yeah, I'm using the option. I'm only giving my customers the option to a free sign up initially. I'm not even taking a credit card or payment on the initial sign up. When they go to the site, they can only sign up to the free account.
That's fine. You can with that, the free account might be incentive enough for people to sign up. It's such a short form to get started. But it again, you might just want to use one confidence booster, maybe what happens next, or a testimonial that might suffice in a situation where you just have a free sign up.
The majority are actually preloaded, so they will have received an email from me in the first place. And yes, there is an intention to put a note in the sidebar explaining that support videos will be available to show them how to fill in, etc.
That's
That is all planned, but that's not done yet. But it's on its way.
hopefully you can join in the next webinar, and we'd love to take a look at the progress you've made on that.
I will do that.
All right. Thank you so much, Barry. Guys, I want to show you one more thing, and I noticed it when Pat was sharing his screen. Let me go to the checkout page here. You'll notice it says create account : and then the name of the membership level. Let me show you how you can change this text, create account. I can show you 2 steps. I can show you how to change that. Let's go to the admin dashboard. And where you want to go is to your SEO templates. This is under your content tab section. And these are all your SEO templates. It's basically all your dynamic pages, the search results pages, the member profile pages. You can set up kind of the metadata and meta titles. We've kind of touched on this in other webinars, but let's forget about all that. If you want to change this text, create account, or remove it, what you can do is search for the word checkout. This would be the easiest thing. I know it's, if I scroll to the bottom, I'll see it, but you guys can search for checkout. And this is for all your checkout pages. I'm going to go ahead and edit this. And over here is the title of the page. Now let me show you what you're looking at here. Let me open this up a bit. Let me put this on another line. This with the percentage signs is the variable name for the product that you're looking at. So this is the featured member, the premium member. This will change on the fly. This code here with the span, it's just going to ensure that if it's a long membership level name, it'll stick on the same line. It's more for aesthetics. Here is the create listing. Now this is in percentage signs because listing is also a text label. So some people might call it account or profile, but you can change this totally, and you can do something like sign up below. And I'll do something, this is a break, so it'll put it on a new line break. Let me just put these back on the same line, and I'm going to save the changes. So we've changing create account to sign up below, and it says featured here. So you might want to change the name of featured to featured listing, so it's a little more elaborate there. Or you could do it right here in the text and put the word listing if you're just calling your membership level featured. So now it would say sign up below, and then the name of the product, and then the word listing. So this is a good way to just get a little bit more control over the titles of your sign up pages here. Hope that was a little bit helpful there for you guys. All right, so hope that was a good segment, and we have something even better moving forward. We do have a showcase winner. Tyler Ford is nice enough to share his site with us so that we can review it, see the progress he's made, and potentially provide some constructive feedback on how he can improve his site. Tyler, let me go ahead and unmute your microphone here. All right, Tyler, you with us there?
I am here.
Awesome, great. Yeah, is this your first webinar with us? Have you been with us in the past?
I've been on a couple webinars. This is probably the third one I've been on, and the first one I've been featured on.
Okay, awesome. So your site is Cash Home Buyer Directory. Can you just tell us a little bit about what this site is, what your goals are with this site, and kind of why you started and what you're hoping to get out of it?
Yeah, so I'm in real estate. I've been investing in real estate for 25, 30 years. We deal with motivated home sellers. And so I've got a lot of other websites out there that generate quite a few leads. And so I'm always in my mind trying to figure out different ways to boost my organic SEO on some other sites that I have, and then also a way to get more leads. So I launched this site right at actually the beginning of 2018, and I worked on it over the holidays just because I had some spare time. So it was just more or less at the beginning something that I wanted to do for my own benefit in terms of helping some things that I have here locally in where I'm at. And then the more I dove into it, the better the idea I thought it was. And it's slowly and surely starting to evolve.
That's great. Was it an existing website, or did you launch it fresh on Brilliant Directories, this specific domain?
It was launched fresh on Brilliant Directories.
Okay. And so you're using it as a way to capture leads of people who might be interested in selling their homes for cash, or just people who might be interested in selling their homes.
Correct. It's typically it's a different type of seller, somebody that has more urgency to want to get things done hassle-free,
Right.
cash. So it's somebody that's not wanting to use a real estate agent, but rather reach out to a real estate investor to sell their home quick. And typically, they sacrifice price for speed and convenience of as is and hassle free, and just knowing that it's done without having to list it and have traffic coming through their homes. And so it's we're dealing with motivated home sellers.
Gotcha. And is this nationwide, or is it just in a specialized region?
It's the U.S.
U.S. Okay. So that's nationwide.
Yeah, but it's also, I mean, there's a couple things. I mean, to get motivated seller leads, but also, it's a competitive space. There's a lot of investors fighting over the same stuff. So a lot of investors have investor websites, and so they're looking for ways to create backlinks and rank their organic website on the first page of any search engine. So, I mean, initially that's why I created it. It was more for me in terms of getting my site to index better to generate more leads. So, I mean, it's a combination of a couple different things, but we've got a couple websites that do really well in our local market, but it's a combination of a lot of different things that, have allowed us to do what we've done. And using the directory is just another thing that we've done with our sites to get them to rank better.
The members that are part of your site, did they join organically, or did you import them, or were they already part of your network?
Combination of both. We did a lot of just claim listing where
Okay.
we just wanted to make it look like, there were people covered. If you click on Find Cash Home Buyers on that link, so we wanted to basically, my wife and I spent the month of December just putting enough claim listings in every state to look like, if somebody went there, there would be somebody that they could find.
Gotcha. Oh, I like how you moved this up here. Gotcha. Okay, great. Yeah, Pat and I, we were checking out your site, and we felt the same thing. The focus of the site is to attract consumers, and actually most consumers might be unfamiliar with the process of cash for their home. That most consumers are probably unfamiliar with selling and buying real estate in the first place. They probably only do that a couple times in their life, unless you're a real estate agent. So we thought actually your site tied into the idea of confidence boosters, but not necessarily on a checkout page, throughout your entire site. And that the goal of these confidence boosters that you can add to your site would be to ease and eliminate fears and doubts that people might have of a cash home, selling their home for cash, and that whole process. To some people, it might sound weird or unfamiliar. They don't know that process. And what we noticed, and we noticed this a lot, when we scrolled down on your homepage, that there were blog articles here, but they weren't geared towards the consumers. They were geared towards potential cash, the people who buy the homes for cash, and how they can get more leads and things like that. Like how to find motivated sellers. That's something a buyer would be interested in. This one looks like, this is probably better. Should you sell your house without a real estate agent? So this one is probably more geared towards a consumer. What we thought would be helpful for you might be to have more articles such as the benefits of selling your home for cash, 10 easy ways to get the maximum cash value for your home, when you're selling it for cash. Things that are just a little bit more consumer friendly that you can also use in some of your marketing efforts, such as on Facebook and things like that, to attract people who would more likely be interested in selling their homes for cash. Before I go any further, I was very curious to see how your site was ranking for find. Like you said, it's a very competitive space, but just for find cash home buyers. Cash home buyers. Is this your site? Cash home buyer directory? No.
Yep.
No.
Yeah. Oh, no.
No.
Oh,
no.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah. Find cash home buyers. I mean, it's four keywords and quotes. Okay, but yeah, you see all these people advertising for those at the top.
Right.
Okay, so
That's where, it's that way in any, it's a competitive space for
okay.
sure.
I did a very specific. You probably won't be at the top here when I remove the quotes. But first of all, that's good to see that. Yeah, you're not at the
I am at the top. If you add directory, then I'm at the top. But a lot of people, I'm still on the first page.
You're still on the page. Okay, so first of all, kudos to you. That's awesome. So you really have a couple things that you can do with this. You have the lead form on the homepage, which is fine. How do you know how this lead form is performing for you on the homepage?
Not well, and I've hired one of the people that you recommend, and that's one of the tweaks that I'm going to make. I mean, the other thing too, and I wanted to get your opinion, but yeah, I need to make some changes to the form.
Gotcha. What I recommend doing is actually starting your site with the article slider. But obviously the articles will be geared towards helping eliminate the doubts and fears of potential consumers that want to sell their homes and actually getting them excited about the idea of selling their home for cash. The right time to do it, working with the right buyer, and things like that. So I would recommend the article slider here. And when you come there, you're just going to shower the consumer with positive articles that really get them excited about the idea of selling them their home for cash. The convenience, the speed, and all those benefits, and the types of the types of situations that someone might want to sell their home for cash. Sorry, Pat, I cut you off there.
Yeah, no, so that's a great confidence booster. And to me, there's two other angles I'd be very curious to look into with an industry like this one. Again, going in line with confidence boosters, Brilliant Directories has this really good feature that's called properties. And I was wondering if just a little bit of tweaking, if you could add properties that have sold on Cash Home Buyers streaming on the homepage, show it, even if it's just for marketing purposes, showing people what they were sold for and saying these are the latest products that were sold. Now I feel like, okay, people are getting results with this. Look at this. Look, honey, this home sold for this and this home sold for that. And then the other recommendation I was going to have is, I think, putting myself in the shoes of somebody that would be selling their home. Right now you have a lead form that's kind of like, hey, fill this out and we'll call you. That to me is I'm be hesitant to give you my information. If it was submit your home property, submit and see what offers you get. I can fine tune that language. But if I felt like, hey, if I fill out this form, give people information about the home that I'm selling, I can find out what kind of offer I would get for my home. Now I'm much more interested in submitting a form like that because it's more in line with the experience that I'm looking for. Not just information about me, but it should be information about my home, my location. Maybe you could do a lead magnet that says, what are homes selling for in your zip code? Put in your zip code here, and we'll get back to you and let you know what the homes are selling on average in the area. These are all different tools that you can do that as somebody that's trying to sell their home. If I'm a motivated buyer, a motivated seller, I want to find out what I can get for my home pretty quickly, probably for different reasons. So the more you can make that information accessible to me, the more likely I'm going to be to fill out a form. And those, again, I'm throwing a lot of information at you at the same time, but I do think taking those different approaches and seeing which one works best would probably be a good approach to use.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's great advice. And do you mind if I ask some questions?
Please, please.
Do.
So one of the things that I'm struggling with, this image really doesn't portray a motivated home seller. It's I mean, it's more of
like
a
they're
relief
set
when
up.
they get it done.
It looks
They
like
just
they're
moved
settling
in.
in. Yeah, it looks like they're settling.
Exactly. And I'm struggling to find the right image, whether it's just because it's a directory that's all over the U.S. and if I pick a home of an area that I'm in, then it's not congruent with. And I've looked and looked and looked, and I'm just struggling to find the right image.
So there are you might not need to have people on the homepage.
Right.
You could just go as simple as a house,
Right.
and then have your lead form on the left, right, or center. That's fine. Let's just go to some popular like real estate sites like.
Yeah, well, I looked at Trulia and they don't. Trulia has a person. Zillow does not.
Gotcha.
Right.
So they got a kid. They probably change it monthly as well. They probably A/B
Mhm.
test it. You probably see different images based on the location you're in and things like that. They're multi-billion-dollar companies.
Right.
So yeah, you can. It doesn't have to be anything. Look, this is, in my opinion, it's not the best picture. It looks like this is a video. You can see the trees swaying a little bit, but it's nothing impressive. What's more impressive, Tyler, is the text that you use and the simplicity in the layout. So just very simply, like, I think this text is too small and it's a lot of text. It's almost the size of your main menu links when this should be title text. Just small things like that. Let me actually go to our lead gen theme because I can see that that's what you're kind of emulating here.
Right.
So we can see here, well, image isn't loading for some reason, but get instant quotes from professionals near you. And then you can have, what you can do is find out how much cash you can get for your home today. And then it would be Pat's form with your where are you located, how many bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, land size, year built, just general real estate questions. And then they submit that lead and then say, thank you for submitting. Our team will reply to you. We'll connect you with cash buyers with potential offers, or whatever the words are that you want to use. And then are these leads being distributed to your members, or are you manually sifting through the leads yourself and then distributing them accordingly?
That was, I mean, again, I'm getting leads, not a ton. So I'm learning as I go. If you go to the join page, so this is kind of how I have it set up. If you scroll down at the bottom so based on how they come in. And so I've been just sending them out based on location when they come in.
Based on location?
I don't know if that's I don't know. Is that the right way to do it? Can it be automated to where I don't have to do anything?
It can be automated. What I would recommend is first to limit this to just 5 to 10 features. I think we cover this in a lot of webinars. This is too many features for a real estate lead matching site for real estate. Instead of list in one city you select, I would recommend get leads from one city. Get leads from up to 3 cities. Get leads from up to 10 cities you select. So instead of being listed in them, you're flipping. You're going to get leads from these from multiple cities. This is good, like tier 1 in the cash. I would say instead of investor, I would say cash buyer directory. That kind of more. I know they're investors, but it might be more. The cash buyer directory might sound a little more catchy, like it's a thing.
I have a question. Like, so every time I played with this, it horks something up. Like, and so I've been leery to go in and like, and I agree with you. But every time I make a change, it actually messes up like the and then I have to go into support, and then you guys fix it. So curious, and I don't know that I'm doing anything wrong. It's just something to do with the code. Every time I go in and change these.
Do you want to, well, we're here. You want to maybe spend a few minutes and limit this to maybe 5 or 6 features and get this page looking nice and tidy?
Yeah.
All right, let's do
Yeah,
it.
if that's all right. I just, because I've played with it and I agree with you, but like sometimes it is fine, and then sometimes it like gets messed up.
I'm with you. So I'm going to do 2 things. First, I'm going to delete your basic and featured. We're going to add them back in just a moment. So let me just delete this. And this might be good for some. I want to get into this because the pricing page, I think, is a real pressing point for a lot of people in the webinar. So I'll show you guys some shortcuts here. All right, so now we just have your premium level. I'm going to delete what we do need here is a bulk delete feature. You got to go one by one right now. But let me just quickly delete a few of these items here. Hopefully we could do it in just a few seconds. And that should stay open when you delete. This is why I like the webinars. We can kind of make notes about these things and fix them. Custom cover, I don't know what that means. Publish articles. No one wants to publish articles. They want leads and they want to buy houses cheap for cash and then flip them. All right, post properties for sale. Okay, we'll keep that. Add videos. Almost done. No ads, yeah, it's not important really. Create backlinks. That's kind of redundant with the link to your website and the social media.
But one of the biggest things, like I mean, in a lot of these real estate,
let me combine it. Backlinks to website and social media. We'll just combine them. Backlinks to website and social media. Let me save that. That way we're turning 3 features into one. You had list website, social media, and then create backlinks. So this way we just combine them into one. It's a little longer, but I think it'll be fine. All right, almost done. And get rid of the create backlinks. And let's get rid of one more here. Free seller leads. Okay, that's fine. Great, let's save the changes. And you should just see one here. Okay, here's your premium. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is everything someone could get. Now I'm just going to duplicate this twice, and we're just going to eliminate things and modify them. So let me do this. Clone menu and clone all sublevels. And I'll do that again. Clone menu item, clone all sublevels, and I'll just quickly save the changes. Right, and now we're going to see 3 premium levels here. And we got 3 premium levels. Okay, what I'd like to do first is update the features, and then I'll update the prices, the checkout links, and then we'll talk about the names of your products here. But again, remember that when you make your site more geared towards the consumer and you shower them with positive messaging and articles and information of why they should sell their home for cash, the investors and the cash buyers are wise enough and keen enough to pick up on that. And they'll just find a way to register for your site because they know that, wow, this site probably, and you can advertise that you're on page 1 for find cash home buyers, that now that that's an asset. And investors would be dying to join your site at whatever price. You might want to increase this to $2,000 a year for that kind of, if once you start getting leads and they're getting that kind of exposure, because it's real estate is a very high profile, high value industry. So I'll just change these back to featured and basic. You might just want to have 2 membership levels in this one, a free registration and a paid version. Are you okay with that actually?
Well, I did the free for the last month and a half, and
sorry, not free. Sorry, I mean the basic for $9.99 and the premium, and get rid of the middle one.
Yeah, I'm I'm fine with that. I did the free, and I mean, real estate investors, like you said, they're making big money on deals, and I tried the free to generate more
Right.
people and then try to upsell them, and I just I'd rather not. So, but yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right, we're going to use the decoy effect. We've talked about this in previous webinars. What we're going to do is actually, we're just going to keep the $24.99 and the $29.99. Guess which one most people are going to sign up for? The $29.99.
29.
Exactly. So let me delete this free one. All right. And let's change the pricing here to $24.99, and that equates to 20. I don't know. I'd like to put confidence boosters right here instead of this. Best value and results. And this one can say like just say something like register in 90 seconds. And guess what? That translates to the premium one. You can register in 90 seconds and you can get the best value and results. So now they're all going to be left. I'm going to center them in a second. So let's talk about what we're doing here since we're talking about confidence boosters. Best value and results. People want results when they're joining a site like this or a membership community or something like that. So we need to keep our features. We need to play to their ego and their goal to be successful. And instead of adding all those things like you had, like adding photos, adding videos, those don't really play to their goal of being successful. So and the simpler a pricing page is, and the more you press on their ego and that their ability to be successful with your site, the more people are going to sign up to your site because you're compelling them to sign up. You're really giving them no reason not to sign up. So let me center this now. We have an article.
And would you not put the yearly price on there? If they do for a year at the discount?
You have to ask yourself, what are you really trying to sell people here? Are you trying to get people to sign up, or are you trying to make an extra buck off of them? How many decisions do you want people to make when they're coming to this pricing page? So if you have the yearly price there and 2 membership levels, now you're asking them to make 4 decisions as opposed to 2. If you had,
but they still get the annual on the checkout, where it gives them the ability to make that decision at some point, correct?
That's fine. I like that because it's a nice surprise.
When
they
at a
get to
discount.
Exactly. They can see that they're going to save 20% or something like that on the checkout page. So let's remove some things from the featured. So this one will say access leads from up to 10 cities. Is that good terminology, Pat? Access?
Or get
leads, sure. Receive leads from up to 10 cities. So the other one is going to be receive leads from 1 city. And just your goal here is to make that premium plan just unbelievably more value, have more value. So this would be tier 2 in the cash buyer directory. That sounds like a lot of fun. I want to be in the cash buyer directory. And I guess, and I will do we're almost done here. Backlinks to your social media, negative. Add phone number, negative. Post properties for sale, negative. Price to purchase leads. And what price do you want was the featured? It was.
Are we gonna? Yeah, we should probably increase it. So we have to go back in and clean up the.
Yeah, so you can go to your membership level settings, the products, and just make sure that these things match up. The price, the tier 2, and the price for leads. So let's actually.
And what about the checkout, the link?
I'll do that right now. So your featured was checkout 2. I'm just going to change this checkout link from 1 to 2. And I'm going to move this price to purchase leads up here. We don't want to nest it. I'm going to do price to purchase leads. I'm going to say free. And I'm going to do one more thing here. I'm going to fatten these up a little bit. Right now there are 4 columns. We've talked about Bootstrap columns in the past. I don't want to get too much into that now. This is going to create a fatter design here. All right, let's check out your pricing page. Price to purchase leads, free. Okay. Looks like I did something here.
Yeah, that's what it's been doing to me when I.
No worries. No worries at all. Let's see what's going on there. Price to purchase leads, free. Should be all good there. Let's see what's going on. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but all right. Let me do this. It's missing the border here. Let me leave it for right now, Tyler. After the webinar, I'll come back and just make sure that that's looking fine for you. But now I just want to do a little bit of a before and after. Get motivated seller leads and boost your SEO. I like that. 30-day money back guaranteed. And before you had this page here.
Yeah, it looks a lot better. Yeah, it's above the fold.
Very good use of terminology. Above the fold is basically, oh, it's almost above the fold. I have a small screen here, but you can basically get everything in just a few scrolls.
And would you position the premium first?
I would actually call them something else. Instead of featured and premium, we just talk about this. Again, we want to play to their ego. So you can just, honestly, you can call it like multi-city leads and single city leads. I'm just thinking multi-city leads and that pretty much says exactly what it says, what they're going to get. Multi-city leads, $29.99. Single city leads, $24.99 per month. Now that shines to me right now. That gets me excited as a real estate person that I can get multi-city leads and single city leads. Yeah, I feel good about this. So some tips for you, just to reiterate, you might want to add more things to fill in your lead form, beds, baths, make them feel like they're really putting information about their house, so they're going to get a real cash buyer quote for that information. And then you want to litter your site with resources and articles. I do recommend the featured blog article slider.
So I have a question. Yeah, I agree with you on the articles and making more towards, towards the seller and not the actual investor. But like a lot of the content that I've created is also for organic SEO, for trying to get people to sign up for the directory. So that's why I've done a combination of both. Is there any way to separate the two so I can appeal to both the investor and the motivated seller?
Yes, you can. So you're the one that's publishing the blog articles, correct?
Correct.
Let's go to your managed products here. So you have an admin blog contributor account here, right? And you have blog articles, and your site also supports member articles, okay? What I recommend doing is removing the member articles from the members and adding it to the admin blog contributor. And this is what I'm going to recommend doing. So you're going to post the admin can post member articles as well as blog articles. What we're going to do is change it from blog articles and member articles to articles for sellers and articles for buyers. This way you can have 2 dedicated blogs, and you can have them in separate tabs of your site. You can make one of them more discreet. Maybe the one for investors is a little more discreet. The links in the footer, you only share those in certain places. The ones for the consumers can be more prominent. So what I wanted to
and quick question for you. So the members that already created articles, they're not going to be deleted. They'll still be there, because I've had quite a few members go in and create articles for backlinks and things like that.
Gotcha. So you have, so this is what you can do. Pat, we're going to clone the feature. So as to not disturb your member articles, let's go to your edit post settings and let's clone the blog article. So now we're creating a new one in essence. Now here it is. We got to call it something else actually. So we're going to call this one cash buyer. Oh, I guess, yeah, we'll call it cash buyer articles. That's fine. And I'm going to do the permalink. So this is like the URL that will be in front of all the articles. So this is a great place, since we're talking about it, to put some SEO friendly content. So you could do like tips for cash home buyers. And then the other one could be tips for cash home sellers, things like that. So now all of it, it's a bit long, but it's got all your keywords in there. You could shorten it up if you wanted to and things like that. Just change some of the things that say blog articles here. All right, you should be good after that. So now let me save.
There's just one other small tip I usually recommend, Jason, when people do this. That's to locate the name of the form and to duplicate the form. That also takes seconds, so that they're not using the same form. So if you ever add a custom field or you have different category sets for one specific feature, then they're not sharing that single form.
Gotcha.
It just takes a second.
Gotcha. Yeah, you could. I don't want to do it in this specific example, but that's a super tip. Is you can clone if you're planning on adding more than just the title and the body of the article, and if you want to add other types of content, you can clone the form in the form manager and then assign that form to be used with that type of content, with that type of post. So let me edit your admin blog contributor. I know we're going really fast for everyone, but now we see cash buyer articles, and I'm going to choose cam post, and I'll just remove the member articles. So now you have blog articles. You can rename this if you want, and you have cash buyer articles. This could be cash seller articles. But now you have two channels to publish different types of content on your site, just like that, without commingling for your professional members and your website visitor members. Creates a conflict of interest almost in what the purpose of the blog is. Right. So yeah, I think those are some good things. You did mention if you wanted like automated matching once the leads come in, and that they'll get matched with the members. We do have an add-on for automatic lead matching. It'll basically match leads that come in from website visitors to members based on the location that the visitor enters and categories. So that if they're looking, as an example, I'm looking for a plumber, it'll match that lead with members who have categorized themselves as plumbers. Plus,
can I do it by location? Because I only have one category on mine.
Yeah,
so
you don't have
to, location.
Yeah, you don't have to do category. You do need to do one or the other or both. So you can choose to only do location matches.
Okay, cool.
All right.
What about linking up? Like we changed my join. I don't know. Is it linked up now to the right product in terms of pricing?
Yeah. So this one should go to your premium. List in 10 sittings account. So I love that name. And this one is the single city leads. You might want to change that name. This is going to your list in 3 cities account. So you might want to change this to match what we entered here, single city leads.
Right. Okay.
I'm excited about this because this really, like, if I was a real cash buyer, it's already getting me excited that I can get multi-city leads just reading that.
Cool. Well, thank you.
All right. And also, it is an asset that you're ranking on page 1 for find cash home buyers, and probably some variations. So you can advertise that in your page that you create about why investors should join your site. That's definitely an asset that you're on page 1 in such a competitive market.
And yeah, I think that just happened kind of recently, just based on some work that I've done. I mean, the leads aren't reflecting that yet, but I'm confident and certain over time they will.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, Tyler, for sharing your site with us. And yeah, we hope that you can join us in future webinars and maybe show us some of the progress you've made on your site in the next few weeks.
Great. Appreciate your help.
All right, our pleasure. All right, that was a fun one. There's really so many directions that he can go in with that, because the real estate market is so big, and there's a lot of different players. We didn't even talk about people who might not want to sell their house for cash, or people who might want to buy homes for cash but can't do that yet, and creating training programs on how to get into real estate. And there's a whole market out there, but it's good that you have the focus right now just on connecting sellers with cash buyers. So thank you very much, Tyler, for sharing your site with us. All right. If you would like your site showcased in the next webinar, we'd love to check out your site, and we'd love to review it in upcoming webinars. You can submit your site to us. You can email events@brilliantdirectories.com. Just include a link to the site that you would like showcased. We'll contact you if your site has been selected prior to the next webinar, and we'll showcase your site. We'll provide feedback and share it on our Facebook page as well. So if you want to do that, you can take a second right now. Just email events@brilliantdirectories.com, and we'll notify you if your site has been selected. All right. So I hope that you guys have some questions and answers. We hope that you've liked the presentation today so far. I'm going to go ahead and lower everyone's hands here. And this is a great time to ask questions about your own site or marketing strategies in general. So feel free to chat in your question or use the raise your hand feature, and we'll unmute your microphone. We'll be happy to take your questions. Jerome, I'm going to unmute your microphone here. How you doing, Jerome?
Doing great, guys. Thanks for all the information today. It's always very informative and helpful.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
On events, I wanted to just display like the venue of the location of the event in what the viewer sees when they're on our website and they click on events, and it displays all the events in the list. I noticed that it just shows like an address, and I was thinking I could just easily add the venue into above where the little red bubble is there for the addresses to show the name of the venue. But I was unable to do that.
Yeah, actually, no, I got good news for you. David Rockland's actually in the webinar here. If you're listening, David, can you pop in the chat the newest layout that we have for events, just so we can kind of show everyone here? I'm gonna check out the chat here. If you can pop in a link. This is just being tested right now. We're working on new layouts for the search result pages and the detail pages. So these are a test site that we were just loading in one post per feature. So let's look at events. So in this case, what we've done is this will be a new search result layout for new sites, and there is a way to get the newest layout on your site once it's ready. So here it does show that it's Greek Theater, and then the address here shows the start date, the price goes here. And there's just what's really good about these new layouts is you get a lot more metadata, meta information about a post right here on the search results page, as well as what we're really proud of. They're looking a lot better in grid view. And so you're talking about the venue or the company name. It's right there in bold in this new view. Nice. And what I like,
that's perfect.
Yeah, it's awesome. And what's really, let's take it a step further, when you go on mobile view, it's actually because you kind of want a little less information on mobile, it does maintain the venue name. As opposed, do you want to add this to your site right now? Maybe we could see a before and after on your specific site.
Yeah, I would love it.
What's the name of your site?
Citybyapp.com.
All right. Give me a second here. Just do a couple things. Now, if you've customized your events layout a lot, have you done that, or added a lot of custom information to your events, or are you just kind of using the default events?
It's just kind of using it out of the box. Yeah.
Perfect.
I don't think I've done too much.
So let's take a look at your site here. And let's go to events. Gotcha, I see here. Okay, actually your site's a perfect candidate for this. So let's, I'd love to see what this is gonna look like. So let me just copy the code that we have on the test site. And what's really cool is when we finish this off, we're going to add schema markup and rich snippets. That's kind of when you see in Google search results, the stars or some extra information in the Google search results. Google decides if they're going to show anything extra or not, but at least it'll be marked up properly. So this is the new magical code. Let's add it to your site. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open your events twice. So in case we want to just revert it, we can just update the page again on the second one. So
Ben, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm not seeing anything moving
no.
on my.
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't miss anything yet. So
There
here,
we go.
sorry about that. That happens once a webinar. All right. So this is your current layout for the events. And you saw the new layout, right? What I was showing before, this layout.
I saw that. I did see that, yes.
Cool. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to copy the code we have for that here into here. I notice you have some custom stuff up here, but I think you have something based on the URL happening up here. I think we can keep that the way it is. That's not an issue. And let me just,
okay.
I'm not going to touch that. And
I know that you guys did a customization where things kind of sort by user's location, but I don't think that would affect this particular code.
Yeah, I think you'll be okay. Let me duplicate this tab now. Kind of see the before and after here. So here's the new layout. You get a slightly bigger image. See, what we've done here is there were 3 columns. There was the image, the information, and then this extra module here. So what we've done is we've really opened it up.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
And what a difference, Jay.
David, if you're listening, we were trying to put more information up here, but we kept it just for the price because people type in long things for the price of an event, free for kids, things like that. What's also nice here is you have the date that it was posted, which will be good for Google. And also, if the person is a searchable member, a link to their profile right here, as well as the category here. So what's nice about this is I like how it keeps the address. There's just small details here. If this address doesn't fit on the same line as the venue, it knows to take the whole address to the next line. Here's an example where the address is on one line. So just little things like that. And let's check out the grid view. So the images are different sizes here, but this is a really nice layout here. And you get the heart up here now, so it's really easy to favorite things. Before, the heart was over here next to the text, probably not the ideal place for that. And if we look at the grid view, the heart's kind of just in the middle of the content here in your old layout. So yeah, do you want me to keep this like this?
Absolutely.
Okay, and you got your venue name here, which was the goal. Let's go to the detail page. I think we should update your detail page too while we're at it. Let me show you what the detail page looks like here. What we've gone ahead and done is we're focusing on a full width image rather than a half width image. So in this case, the image is taking up half of it, and then you get stuck with a lot of dead space here. If the image doesn't fill up the full width, it'll center the image and it'll put a light gray background. So do you want to test this out on your detail page?
Absolutely.
All right. This is really fun for us because we spent a lot of time trying to get this looking right on mobile and on all sorts of views. So let's go ahead and update your detail page.
Yeah, and all of our content is, interconnected with our mobile apps. So that's a big deal to have it mobile friendly.
This is done. Everything's done on purpose here for mobile. Let me show you why. So let me go into a mobile view here. So let me just center this a little bit. So So right off the bat, you get the posted by, you get the address of the event and the venue at the top, the price. More importantly, you get the contact member, and if there's an external link for the post, sending them to another website, that's right here as well. So that shows right under the image. And then obviously your content here. So let's check out how your site looks for the before and after. I'll just duplicate this page. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. You get some gray sidebars depending on the actual width of the image. It won't attempt to stretch the image and make it blurry. So it's always good to upload images that are the right size and things like that. But now you have the title of the event, the venue and the address here. You obviously have your map here, which is helpful. And then you have more information, the start time, end time, so on and so forth here.
Oh, love it.
So that's compared to this. We're going to this.
Yeah. And
all of this, so this is using red colors here. It's just stuff that'll match your color themes, your design themes also. So it's not ready yet, but for those of you that like what you're seeing here and you want these updated looks on your site, probably next webinar this will be ready and I can make it an official announcement or in the Facebook group. But basically what you want to do is when you're editing a feature, in the search results and the detail page design, there is something to, if you scroll down, it says restore default code. Now it hasn't been updated yet with our newest code. We're doing some final testing, but you can come here to each of your features that you want to update. And just in this example, we would update the event. We would click restore default code and save our changes. So you really don't have to do anything fancy to get the updated code for your site. Just come here and ask to restore the default code. What a difference.
That's huge.
I love the bigger
Thank
picture
you so
here.
much.
All right, cool. All right, Jerome, thanks. Your site's looking great, by the way.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, how are we doing on time here? I think we got time for one more question.
That was great, Jason. By the way, that was fun to see the old design and the new design and then all the improvements.
It's great. Even the posted by, so this is a module on its own. And if the member, this is the category here, music, and if the member is a hidden member, it won't say by. Like if the admin blog contributor, who's a non-searchable member, posts something, this won't be here because they're not a searchable member. Yeah, I'm really excited about these new layouts. I'm just going to add another level of value from your BD website. All right, let's take time for one final question here. All right, I see Lindsay's hand up again. Lindsay, was that an accident or do you have?
No, I have a real question this time.
Awesome. Okay. So, what's your question for us? Thought I'd give you.
So first, it was great seeing that cash home buyer site. I thought that was awesome, and it's very similar to what we do. It's a different industry, but we have one category and we have that lead gen form too. And I noticed on his pricing page, it said, you choose 10 multi-cities, the 10 city piece. And I'm wondering with that plugin, the automated lead matching, sort of how customized can you make it? We deal with lawyers, and counties are really important to lawyers. They sort of represent and have relationships in certain counties. So we're wondering if we could tease it out to buying leads in York County.
Yes. So let me show you how when that add-on is enabled. Okay. Listing in multiple cities. You'll need this add-on. Let me just go to the BD website real quick. So members can create their profiles. They'll put their phone number, their name, and their address. Now, in order to gain visibility and leads from additional locations with a single profile, what you want to make sure you have is this add-on, multi-location listings. And what that unlocks is the members have the ability to select additional locations they serve in addition to their main headquarters. Let me show you how that would work, though, because you said something very specific. You said counties, which is different than city.
Yeah.
Counties are larger areas. So I'm just going to go to search visibility here. Okay. When you have that add-on enabled, you get these two inputs. Max location limit. So I can say that this member can choose 20 locations. And then what type of locations can they choose? Obviously, the zip code would be the smallest. So I can just leave it as 20 zip codes, and they would just be in 20 different zip codes, the smallest land mass size. Or you can do zip codes and counties. Obviously, zip codes are inside of counties, but this would allow someone to choose much larger areas with one click. You could choose Los Angeles County, and that's a huge area. Or you can choose country. So someone could be in the US, UK, and Australia. That would be the largest type of land region that someone can select. So the add-on is really awesome because you can not only choose how many additional locations, but the type of location that they can choose. So just depending on your industry, you might want to make it super limited, or you might want to open it up a bit.
Right. Okay. All right. Cool. That's great.
All right. Great. Well, thank you for your question.
I just have just on top of that. So
Sure.
in that in the leads module, like on the left sidebar, when you go into lead settings, and then you can add a new action. You don't have to manipulate anything on this end.
You
like
don't. Yeah,
okay.
you wouldn't have to. Once, if you have the automatic lead matching, and if you have the that was a tongue twister, multi-location listings add-on. If a member has selected, let's say they've selected Florida and Arizona as their additional locations as far as states, any leads that come in, the automatic lead matching will include them in the distribution of leads that come in from Arizona and Florida.
Okay.
Automatically.
Got it.
With the automatic lead matching, you can create advanced actions. Those would be based on membership levels. For example, if a lead comes in from Arizona and I'm a high-tiered featured member, it's automatically going to accept that lead for me and give it to me for free, rather than going into a pending status. I need to review the lead and then choose to purchase it at a lower-tiered membership level.
Okay.
Yeah, unless you're doing like really advanced lead matching, I don't think you need to mess with creating additional actions. I think the most important thing is the price of leads, and then how much access your members have to leads, which is basically dictated by how many locations they can select and how many categories they can select.
Right. Okay. Great.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. No, thank you. Great questions there. I think we actually covered in the previous webinar with Pat in more detail some of the lead match settings there. But guys, great webinar Wednesday. I think this is one of our most, I can't even say that anymore. We've had some super great webinar Wednesdays. This one was definitely filled. We didn't even get to Gabe's Corner today, which we showcased last week and was a huge winner. We'll definitely make sure we have Gabe's Corner in the next webinar. Guys, the next webinar is in 2 weeks from now. It was great to be with you guys here. If you'd like your site showcased in the next webinar, just take a second, email events@brilliantdirectories.com, and just include a link to your website. Thank you so much to Tyler Ford for sharing your site with us. It's a great way for us to learn from each other, and definitely for you to kind of enhance your site and improve it here in the webinar. Don't forget about the tip of the week, adding confidence boosters to your site, to your checkout pages. Not only to your checkout pages, they could be on your home page, because you want to immerse your members and potential members with positive information that gets them excited about the industry that you're serving. And if you haven't already done so, just take 2 seconds and join our Facebook group. If you still have questions, we'll be happy to answer them there. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook, and we can continue the conversation together there. And on behalf of myself, Gabriel, and Patrick, thank you guys very much. We look forward to seeing you in the next webinar Wednesday. Thanks so much.
Have a brilliant day, everyone.